Hopefully this all sounds very exciting, but what will the transition be like? How can we begin to envisage that? Despite the impressive transition programme, although we know of course there are some elements that we haven't been able to do yet, but we know that we are preparing for those over the coming weeks, and also the role of our summer school as well. But we know that it is a momentous moment in a young person's life, and we can't and we won't hide from that. In fact, let's celebrate and embrace it. You might remember starting secondary school yourself, I certainly do. But it is a period of mixed emotions, daunting, exciting, wanting to seize a fresh opportunity and a new start, but also missing some of the things that you very much enjoyed before when you were at primary school. But I can assure you it is the same for staff as well as we prepare for a new September, and perhaps more so than ever at the moment with the challenges that we have been facing. Virtually all students will be nervous in September, but after a week or two they will be settled in. Something magic seems to happen in that first 2 weeks where they seem to learn their timetables off by heart. They take a little bit of time to adjust to homework routines and making new friends, but it all seems to come about very quickly with an enthusiasm of everybody being in the same situation. Every child will approach things a little bit differently. Adjustment to the larger class sizes or the larger groups of children at break times and lunch times can have a different impact on different children, and it's just continually being aware in ourselves that yes, this is a period of adjustment and everything takes a little bit of time to settle. Finding our place takes a little bit of time to settle, however excited we might be about it. So what key things can make a difference here, particularly in those first few weeks of September? Well, firstly, I would never underestimate the importance of routine. It fundamentally brings about very good habits. Our students will need time and support from you and from school to support and manage their homework, to support and manage the increased equipment demands that they will have, with each day needing to bring different books and different pieces of kit, to ensuring that they get a good night's sleep, that they get praise when they do well, and they get reprimanded if they have not met expectations, that they know that the expectations between home and school are the same and that we will always meet at that point. I would say taking an active interest in your child's education from the outset. I've no doubt some of you might already be struggling to get a good answer to how was your day today, but persist with that please. Ask them about the lessons that they've studied, the experiences they've had, the teachers that have taught them. What have they found interesting? What have they found less so? But try and build a habit of a discussion there, because it will really set the framework for the future. But I would truly encourage you to make the most of the wonderful opportunities that this school affords. It is never that there is a dull day at this school, whether that be an extracurricular activity, an enrichment activity, a trip, a visit, a guest speaker. Every day is rich and varied, but they need to grasp hold of those chances. They need to make sure that they're informed about what's going on, and they need to make sure that they're putting their name down for things. Please do the same for them sometimes. But whether that be a Bright Ideas lecture, whether that be an author visit, whether that be a cultural society trip, my very own theatre trip that we make sure that I take children at least once a half term to the theatre or the opera or a gallery. There's usually only about 30 places. They go like hotcakes, but it's one of my most favourite things to do. Just time with my students, doing something that I value and enjoy and hope that they will as well. It's good fun. I can't wait to be able to do those sorts of things again. It's also about being sensible and mindful about friendships and new friendships. Not every child can have 161 other friends, but finding our place and finding our friendships is very different for different children. Some of your children will know lots of other children from primary school. Some of them won't really know anybody at all. That will all shift and change very quickly, but as they settle into those new friendships, it's about giving them space to do that. Actively encourage them to bring children home for afternoon teas and for activities and games. Encourage them to meet one another outside of school at the weekends. All of the things that you did when they were little, it's more important than ever now to encourage them to do them at this changing point in their lives so that they can solidify those new friendships and feel a sense of confidence in them as well. There will be big changes in other ways as well. Some of those chiefly will be to do with social media. They will be to do with smartphones and websites such as Instagram, Facebook. These have been a really big change in our modern lives, and they have very much taken over teenagers' lives. Often parents see secondary school as the time when they give their child a mobile phone or a smartphone for the first time, as that independence is increasing. But I must be clear that we do not allow smartphones at the Outer Academy. That rule was brought into force in the September of 2015, and I've got no intention of changing it. And please know that I would tell you before I told them if I was. But the reason we don't allow smartphones is that they are not a necessary part of learning. They unfortunately are a distraction, and young people can find themselves making poor choices surrounding them. Please do read carefully our expectations to do with mobile phones, available both on the website and in the induction pack that you signed and submitted to school. It's also a key aspect of our homeschool agreement. We do allow mobile phones, so if you wish to bring your child to have one, they should be a traditional, very simple phone that does not have access to a camera or to the internet. But you will find that these very simple boundaries and very simple rules will help you in supporting those types of infrastructures at home as well, when you will suddenly find that they want to be online and talking to their friends all of the time. But we'll do a lot of work in September with you and your young person about social media and about the ways in which we can all take good care of ourselves and one another.